Everybody, happy Wednesday evening. This will probably not be. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough on the mic. You may have noticed that my voice doesn't sound quite right, that I might sound like I'm a little stuffed. And that's because I'm a little stuffed. Now, it's not COVID, which I'm very happy about, but yeah, I'm not having luck, it seems, in the whole sickness lottery. I got COVID last month, as I've talked about, I think, on a couple streams, and will not go into great detail on again. And now I apparently just have a normal head cold. Like I said, I tested yesterday when I started feeling a little weird and did not, came up negative. I'm not going to test again today. I'm going to test tomorrow, but this doesn't feel like COVID. I got to be honest. It doesn't. So I don't think it's that. But it is affecting my voice. It is making me stuffy, and I'm hopefully not going to have to blow my nose too many times. The first half of the day has been nothing but blowing my nose, but I took some Dayquil, and that seems to be doing the job. So hopefully, and I haven't been coughing too much, so I think I'll be okay. I figured, okay, this is clearly the beginning of the cold. Yesterday, I had the cotton throat thing, and that's where I went, oh God, please don't let me have COVID again. So when I got the cotton mouth, because that's how it was with COVID, I have to admit, yesterday I was pretty nervous, and I waited to see if it would go away, and it didn't go away. So that's when I went. And when I tested, I really wasn't sure, but fortunately, at least so far, the test is negative. So, but generally in a cold, the stuffy days, I expect tomorrow will be the worst day. That's typically how it goes for me. Is I get the warning day, is what I call it, where it's like, okay, there's something that tells me that I don't feel right. Then I get the first day of symptoms, which is generally annoying, but not terrible. And then it's usually the third day or third and fourth days where I really don't feel well. So I'm anticipating feeling a little bit worse tomorrow. I don't feel wonderful at this particular moment, but I don't feel that bad. I just sound bad, and I'm hoping I don't. The yawning, I haven't yawned all day. Yawning, I don't know why the stream triggers that, but it does. But in any event, we're going to see. I don't think it's going to be a particularly long stream, but let's get going, because, who knows? Let's see. All right, let's go straight into it. Bang! Back with our psychedelic mushroom. I have to admit, I haven't looked at this image since the stream where I did it, and I like it. I actually really like this little thing. What did I just? Oh, I clicked. Oh, jeez, that was the follower. Jeez, that scared the crap out of me for a minute. I was like, what is that? Okay, got it. I'm just not used to the sound. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Turtle. Oh, sorry. Now I've got back. Now I've got noise everywhere. Oh, that was the notification in my email that what thing just followed me. So, welcome, Mr. Turtle. Thank you for following. I don't know what that brings me up to. I have no idea how many followers I have. Well, it doesn't matter. That's not the important part. All right, let's get into it. So anyway, that's why my voice is going to will probably sound pretty bad. Because I imagine it's going to sound worse after today. So that's why I figured, okay, let me get something in, because who knows. All right, so let's see where we are. Yeah, I want to see how I want to do these shadows, because I did these really kind of sketchy lines to sort of lay things out, but it really won't fit, I don't think, with the rest if they're all like this. So let's switch over to black, true black. Let's grab our pen. What size are we at? Oh, that's not bad. That's an okay size. All right. I think I will still use mirror mode, or whatever, symmetry, I guess it's called. Drawing assist. Just test that, yeah. And let's see what we get here. Well, let's think on this for a minute. Oh, I just realized I missed something. Hold on a minute. Let me fix that. Let me get that little line, which I just noticed. Okay. Anything on that side? If I do have to blow my nose, I will mute the mic. I will not blow my nose into the mic, so don't be too concerned about that. I would not I would not do that. That would be pretty crappy. I'm going to try not to cough either. Sometimes the cough kind of sneaks up on me, I have to admit. I still feel like I have a leftover cough from COVID, so this won't help anything. But just if I do cough in the mic, I'm sorry. It is not intentional. Okay. How do I want to do this? Let me think about this. How do I want to do this? Well, I think what I'll do is I think I'm just going to do something like this. As far as, well, no, that's okay. That works. This is all shadow line anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to try to follow the curve of the cap. No, that didn't follow the cap's curve at all, did it? Let's see. Let's bring it like that. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. So this will be the, what I'll call the inside black levels. So let's do a new layer there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and fill this in because I don't want this to... I'm going to do some lines like that. So there are going to be some sketchier lines. But I think for now, just for the actual general shadow layer, actually I could probably use paint. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and fill this in with black because this is going to be shadow. And then we'll see about how we want to do those other lines. But we can just keep the mirror mode on for that. I didn't leave it on, did I? Nope, sure didn't. Doesn't matter. I don't need it. It would have been quicker, but that's okay. There's no actual rush on this. So, incidentally, you may hear a slight clicking noise occasionally because I'm resting the iPad on my keyboard. So once in a while I hear it clicking on the keys. I can't move the keyboard because I'm charging the keyboard. And the cable I use to charge the keyboard is a little bit short, so to try to move it would result in it not charging. So that's why you might hear that click. And that's why, unlike other times where I take the keyboard and I actually just move it, I'm not doing that in this case. Okay, so let's do another layer because I sure do love layers. Let me take a look at something like that. Okay, I'm going to use that pen, but not that small. Definitely need to come up on the line thickness. How's that? Oh, that's better. Okay. All right, we're going to turn on the assist because I want to mirror this. Ah, man, itch. Back just itched for no reason. Okay, let's do some of these lines here. Okay, we're going to follow roughly the lines that I did before. More or less, but it won't be exact. Something like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. I may do the cross-hatching thing. I haven't determined that yet. Might not. Actually, let me look at something. Let me look at a different pen. What was the other pen I used? This one? Might be. Let me see. Let me pump this up a bit. Ooh, those might be better lines. Yeah, okay. We're going to go with those. We're going to go with those lines. I don't mind doing this twice. It's fine. Nature of the beast sometimes. So let's do this. Yeah, I think the taper lines. Yeah, I think those are better. I think I like those better as far as shadow lines. I mean, these are a little rough to try to... I haven't quite gotten the handle on this pen yet. So some of these lines you can see they're not quite even. But I don't know that I really care. I think it's okay. Yeah, see, I think for this type of thing, that line is better. I like the tapering. And I don't mind if they're a little uneven. This is not a still life, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, these lines look more comic booky to me. So I kind of like them. Now here's the trick. Or this is something I haven't done before. At least not with this pen. I haven't done something like this. But let's see what the cross-hatching on these looks like. Oh, you know what? That's not bad. I do not hate that. Not exactly what I had in my mind, but honestly, not bad. Not terrible. Again, it makes me think of certain comic book artists I really liked, whose names, of course, I can't remember now. But there's something about that that's not bad. Let me just drop this out for a minute and look at it. That's not bad. I don't hate that. Which is probably one of the best things I can ever say about my own work, is that I don't hate it. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to do bottom shadows too. Can't have it just on the top. So let's see how this is going to look. I don't know if I love that. So we're gonna do that a little differently. That I don't love so much. So what we're going to do is we'll start here. And I know I'm going outside the lines. That really doesn't matter for this particular application because I'll just erase it. Okay, there's no point in doing lines you can't see. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you can see them. Okay, so we'll do a couple more out here. I'm going to play a little fast and loose with this one because, well, number one, it's magic mushrooms, so I'm not too concerned about high line fidelity. I don't even know if that's a phrase. But also, I'm just going to kind of play around with this because I'm kind of enjoying messing around with this pen. So we'll just see how this works out. Yeah, I'm gonna erase all the stuff that's in the white areas, so don't worry about that. I don't know if anybody was worried about it, but it will get cleaned up. So if you think I'm not that sloppy in the stuff that I do. In fact, I'm very unsloppy in a lot of my line work. This is heavy sketching work for me because I normally do not. What's the word for it? I don't usually have casual lines this way. But you know what? That doesn't look bad. I don't mind that brush. Or pen, I guess it would be. Not really. It's called a taper pen. But I don't mind that. That actually kind of looks all right. I really don't know if I would like it. But I do like, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, let's turn off the mirror mode or whatever it's, I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm calling it mirror mode. Let's clean these lines up just so we can see it as it should be. Actually, I'll switch to paint, I think. How big is that paint? Oh, no, we're fine. We're good. Just careful in these. Don't want to actually erase the stuff I want to keep, but I want to kind of get a clear picture of what we got happening here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, this ain't bad. Mr. Turtle, if you don't mind me asking, I'm just curious. Did you find me through Discord, or was it Twitter, or just randomly? I'm always kind of curious. I know some of the people who stop by the stream because I've either talked to them on Twitter or some other forum sometimes, but I'm always kind of curious because... And it's very possible I've talked to you on Twitter or Discord or something else. I have no memory, so don't be offended by that. I'm just kind of curious. And you don't have to answer either. If you're in the middle of doing something, it's perfectly fine. It's not vital information I need in the next 20 minutes or anything like that. Like I said, more of just a curiosity than anything. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, back to paint. The instinct to sniff when your nose runs is actually a really bad one. It's when I have to constantly just there's a point where you just let your nose run. As long as it's not so bad, it's, drenching you or anything like that, then yeah, maybe not so good, but I think it is far worse to try to sniff it back in than to just let your nose run a little bit. It's terrible. Actually, the worst part about a runny nose for me, I'll be honest, is it itches sometimes. It itches like mad. It gets really itchy. That's probably the worst part of a runny nose for me, is the itchiness of it. It just feels like, it's just a little bit itchy, Okay. This all goes. Did that? Yeah, okay. That's not bad. Who does this from? Daniel Close, maybe? No, that's probably the wrong. Probably. Oh, sorry. That was my nose squeaking from running. So, sorry about that. If that was audible, I don't know if it was. Probably was. I'm really surprised how much I don't hate that pen. Really surprised. I thought I would. But it's really not bad. Okay, so you know what? We're going to use the same... I mean, there's really no reason not to use the same pen on the top, because if it worked on the bottom, we'll go with it on the top. Now, I'm not going to do the entire top mirrored. I'm gonna alter some of that. I'm going to do this base part here. That will be mirrored. But then some of this detail work, I'm going to do that. Whoops. I'll do that without the mirroring effect on to give it some variety. I don't mind. I love symmetry. Don't misunderstand. I love it. But, at the same time, I understand, some variety is a good thing. So let's just start working in this section of the cap. Yeah, and then I'm going to do a lot of kind of layering in of this particular brush. Okay, here we go. Here we are. We'll just layer that in. I'm not worrying too much about some of this will overlap. That's okay. Okay, here we go. Yep. Okay. I don't like that though. Hold on. Let me fix that. There we go. Yeah, so I wasn't gonna do a stream, but I'm trying to, trying to get back into the regularity of it. Like I said, it's just, man, got sick again. And, whatever, no problem. I'm not deathly ill or anything like that. It's just it's kind of funny. I keep trying to get back into the routine of streaming, and there's just been little things that have popped up in the way. But, that's... Whoa, wait a minute. No, those are way too loopy. Hold on, I gotta fix that. One of the reasons I never really made any type of formal schedule or whatever, this is exactly why, is because I went, well, you don't know. You don't know when you're going to actually be able to do it or not. So don't go in too crazy on setting a particular schedule. Just do it when it makes sense. And that has worked for me so far. Fairly well, I think. Just kind of, booping in and out. This is interesting. What do I want to do here? I'm kind of thinking this out in my head as I'm doing it. Because I don't think I want to leave it like that. I think I want to I do want to have some solid black, but I guess I could just build towards it. I guess I can just build in the black by just keep layering this thing. Keep layering this thing. See where it ends up. I'm going to leave a little bit of lightness on the bottom for undershadow or light reflection or whatever the actual term is for that idea, where there's light bouncing off the bottom. I mean, maybe that's not bad. Maybe that's all right. I don't know. That doesn't, it's not... Again, shockingly, I'm not hating this. I'm not used to working with this loose a brush, or loose an approach, I guess I would say. So I'm sort of surprised I don't hate it. Because normally I'm such a stickler for precise lines, but that's not bad. It really isn't. It's not bad. Okay, so let's see how I want to do. I'm going to do a couple more symmetrical lines just on the outer edge of this. Or I'm just going to do some like this and just have them kind of coming in just to create some of that, just that roundness to it. So do a little bit there. No, not that. Be more like that. Okay, now I'm going to do a new layer. No symmetry on. And we'll just do some of these lines. Kind of. Oof. I don't like the hooks at the end, though. Okay, that's better. That's better. I just have to get the technique down. So I'm not really used to using this pen. I've used it for some things, but not for everything. So I'm still kind of getting used to it. That's okay, though. That's all right. That's all right. Okay, let's see. So, do something there. Oop, that's got too much of a hook. Ah, they have such a hook to them. Yeah, I'd like to be able to work out that hook on the end, but apparently that's just how I'm going to be doing stuff with this pen. Apparently I have a bit of a hook in my pen stroke. All right, that one we don't need. Okay, so let's do some here. Yep, here we go. Better. Still, look at those stupid little hooks. I don't like the hook. See, that's the problem. You have to do it quick, or it doesn't, the thickness doesn't line up the way I like it. So, sort of, kind of hamstrung a bit by that. But, whatever. Not a big deal. These are not huge problems. In fact, most people looking at it probably wouldn't even notice or wouldn't care. Okay. Let's do a little bit there. Yeah, so I'm doing these without the assist on because I don't want them to be uniform. There's a lot of uniformity in this already, so we can afford to, do a little bit of, a little bit of variation here and there is not a bad thing. Ooh, no, not that though. Not that though. God, the hook thing. It's just, see, that's, if I try to go too slow, it gets too thick, so. Okay, let's turn off the pencils here. Geez, that's not bad. That's kind of better than I thought it would be. Not even kind of, it is better than I thought it would be. I wasn't really looking at this as much of a, I don't want to say it's not much of an illustrated piece, but I wasn't really expecting much from it, and it's turning out better than I thought, which I should have known. A lot of stuff that I do, this is how it goes. I think that the big grand stuff, it never almost works out the way I think it will, and then this little stuff that's kind of off the cuff does work. I don't know why that is, but I definitely need more lines. I need more stuff like out here. So I'm gonna add some more in here. Kind of bring this down. Ugh, I can really feel my voice going now. Not bad. I'm okay, but I could hear it way more than I heard it before. Okay, we're gonna do this. I don't normally do cross-hatching like that. That's not something I'm normally... Okay, you know what? That's too much, because I don't want to run into those other lines, so hold on. Let me go back. Actually, I really don't need anything there. I can just do this. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't generally do that kind of cross-hatching, so I'm going to stick with what I know I like, which is this. That's fine. That gives a little bit more to it. Yeah, that'll work. That's better. All right, let's erase all this for the outside lines. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, I know what I did. Okay. Turn off symmetry, moron. It's not the same on both sides. Okay. Let's get back to here. Then maybe we'll start putting a little color into this thing. Because this doesn't have to be a very complex drawing. Oh, oops, okay. I was like, why is that? There it is. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. Got a little lost in my own line work for a minute. That is not uncommon. Okay. Yeah. All right, all right. Didn't do anything there. Let's clean this. Definitely want to keep the little white fungus stuff, growths or whatever, in place. So don't want to mess too much with that. And for this, I can jump to painting, and I can clean that up a little bit faster. There we are. Clean those edges up. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. We're in decent shape here. So now, okay, here we go. Let's think. That taper pen worked out for this one. It really did. Worked out all right. What is this? Oh, those were when I was doing the other mushrooms. Well, those are not going to be part of this. Oh, yeah. Geez, I don't mind that little stuff there. It's not bad. Huh. Hold on a minute. It's not bad, but I don't... Oh, get rid of that. I still don't think it needs it. It definitely doesn't need that. Jeez, I don't know. I'm going back and forth on this one. Oh, man, I don't know. Do I want those little things there, or does it look better cleaner? I think it looks better cleaner. I'm going to turn that off. All right, let's group all this stuff up. Let's group all you up, and this will become line work. There we go. Okay. I don't really need... Well, those were lines. There was an idea I had where I was going to have like symmetrical lines behind it. I'm not going to do that, so that can go. All right, let's take a look. So, let's think about what we want color-wise. Because obviously I have to do all these swirls in certain colors. So I think the swirls, the question becomes, question to the audience of one. I think it's just you, Mr. Turtle. So I'll pose this question to you. There's one of two ways I can do this, that I think. Instead of getting a drink of water. One way is I can have the mushroom be a very vibrant color, and then the waves in the background be more subdued colors, less saturated. Or I can do the reverse, where the mushroom can be a very kind of earthy, earth-tony, kind of lighter, less saturated color. Like maybe a off-white or a... Can't be white because the little fungus stuff on the bottom, that's going to be white. Or brown, or maybe a subtle red. And then all the colors in the swirls can be really intense. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let me think about this. Yeah, okay. Let's start by putting a color in the background. We won't worry too much about it. We're just going to pick a color. Let's pick a nice blue. Kind of a nice deep blue here. All right, let's grab our... this will be a pen. And let's just go to... I have a new layer here. We can turn off... I don't need a drawing guide at this point. So let's go ahead and just select this thing here. And actually, I guess I'll do the paintbrush. Let's just start filling this in. And this would be the vibrant wave color, if we were to do it this way. Now, the nice part is, you can do this color regardless and not worry about whether it's going to be a vibrant one or not, because I can just turn the saturation down. You know, I can mess with these colors after the fact. That's why I'm putting each of them onto a layer, so that there's no real problem with it. Yeah, there we go. I mean, this is going to be the trick, because I have to kind of follow this. So let me just draw through this so I don't lose the string of where I am. So, okay, there we are. Yeah. Whoop. Went outside the lines a little bit. I saw it. Okay. Hold on a minute. I think I have to blow my nose, so I'm going to mute myself for 1 second. Ah, man. Okay. Yeah. Bit stuffy. Little bit stuffy. It's okay. I don't want to complain too much. It was worse when I had COVID. It was worse than this. So getting this relatively soon after COVID, in a sense, is good, because this does not seem too bad in comparison. I mean, it is definitely being sick. Because yesterday I thought, might just be psychological. Because you've been around some people who were sick, and maybe you're just dreading getting sick. But no, it is actual sickness. I'm not a hypochondriac? Yeah, hypochondriac. Not really that. In fact, I've done really well up until the last 2 months in terms of illness. I've been really, really lucky. Haven't gotten anything really. Nothing major. Avoided COVID even for 3 years or so. So was on quite a streak for a while there, but all things must end, I suppose. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so this, man, I forgot how long this ribbon. I picked a long ribbon to start with, or wave, or whatever I'm calling these things. I guess I'm not calling it much of anything if I don't even know what the name of them is. So whatever these I guess I'm calling it a wave. Waveforms are, I picked one of the longer ones, at least to start with. Or at least I didn't pick a short one, let's put it that way. But maybe that's good, because it'll give me a rough idea of what this would actually look like in comparison. So I can start out with kind of a dull mushroom color and then work from there. We'll just start with something simple. Okay, there we go. Okay. I noticed that the Nothing Forever stream is still offline. I wonder what that means. The Seinfeld parody account, which was supposed to come back. Everybody was saying Monday. Haven't seen it come back yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe their model isn't working the way they thought it were. Something else happened. But, yeah, I've checked on it a couple times in the last few days and have yet to see it come back from its 2-week ban. Even though, like I said, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was what people were assuming and they never were intending to come back that fast. That could be too. I have no idea the complexity or the testing that has to go into that. I'm sure they're being extra cautious after the initial ban, so maybe they're just... Because I know there's at least 2 people involved. Maybe the people behind it are being extra cautious because, you know, once you get banned, well, I don't know how Twitch's ban stuff works. I don't know how many. I think it's, what is it, 3 strikes you're out type policy. But regardless, I don't think the negative publicity is worth rushing for because they certainly got enough attention when they got banned. All right, so there's a bold color. So that's a very strong blue. So now let's go ahead and do like a, you know, almost like a beige color, I guess, for the actual mushroom. Let's see. Yeah, so see, that's a very, 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 very casual color on the actual mushroom there. So that's what I mean about, that's the one way to do it, is this kind of barely there type of color, which is what I would characterize this, I guess it was sandy or beige or whatever name you'd give this color. Okay, let's bring that way down. Which is not a color I hate or anything. I'm just saying this is a much different... Because I don't think I think 2 bright colors would be way too visually busy. I think there would be way too... It would be overpowering if I had vibrant, or vivid on vivid, I guess. Color, or vibrant. Vibrant, same word. If I had really strong, intense colors on both sides of the image, I think it would come off a little tough. I think it would be a little too much for the eye. Could be wrong. And certainly I can always play with that, but I kind of have a hunch that doing a less intense color with a more intense color as a mix is a better idea. I could change my mind the next time I look at this and go, oh, what was I thinking there? It would not be the first time something like that's happened. As anybody who's watched the stream for a little bit knows, I completely re-architected a major part of one of my skull images a while back because I just didn't like it. That is both the good and bad thing about stepping away from what you're working on for a while is it does give you a different perspective. Not necessarily always a good thing, because if it ends up with you... Well, I actually shouldn't say that. Getting the image where you want it to be is always the ultimate positive thing. So even if that means redoing something... Oh, boy. Sometimes. Most of the time, I don't mind redoing my stuff. Once in a while, I had somebody who has paid for and requested one of my magic cards with a drawing on the back. And I did one, and I tried to do something interesting with color, and I just destroyed the image. I didn't care so much about that one because I'm going to send one of each of my cards to my mother, and she'll never look at the back, so I'm going to frame it and send it to her. So I didn't really care about that one. I'll be honest. That didn't bother me that much because I felt, okay, I can salvage that. That can just go into the frame for my mom, and it's fine. And it isn't a waste of a card. So then I got a different one, and I started to work on it, and I just could not get it to look the way I wanted it to look. Like I just made a couple of errors, which making errors isn't a huge deal necessarily, but when it's a card somebody's paying you for, and they were unrecoverable errors because I'm doing it physically. It's not digital where I can fix it. These were errors that just could not be fixed. There was no way to get around them. And I'll be honest with you, for about, I'm going to say a good 6 or 7 minutes, those 6 or 7 minutes were some of the most disheartening and infuriating moments of my adult life that I can remember offhand. Because, I mean, I destroyed the card. I ripped it up, crumpled it, and threw it out because I just didn't even want to look at it. And I honestly, for a couple of minutes, there was a part of me that just thought, go in there, take all those artist proofs, and burn them. Because, you know, this was a fluke thing and you suck. And don't even bother. Which I'm sure is something that a lot of artists go through. You know, because I could not, that day, for whatever, I could not get, and it wasn't, just to put it in perspective, it was not a difficult drawing. It really wasn't, and yet I just couldn't get my head where I needed it to be to accomplish it. And it was just maddening. I mean, just maddening in a way that is hard to articulate properly. It was a very rough 6 or 7 minutes. But then I did a third version, and that one's coming out all right. So I just, for whatever reason, I hit in a bad pocket of whatever and couldn't get the thing where I wanted it, but I'm getting it where it needs to be now, so I think it'll be all right. Let's do like I don't know how I want to do the colors. I'm kind of spitballing with colors here. I'm just messing around with colors. Just seeing what I want to do. Which is fine because I'm probably pretty close to. But you see what I mean about the sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. I wanted to call it toadstool. The mushroom is a very kind of subtle color. And so that's what I mean about if I have a bright color behind it, that might make it pop better. Or not. I'm going to see. But I think that's what I'm going to lean towards right now is doing the more vibrant color behind the mushroom, and then have the mushroom staying as a more subdued or less intense color. Now again, what I can do at any point is if I want to go the opposite way, I can just come in here and I can go to my adjustments and I can pull that saturation down and like push the lightness up and see I can modify this fairly easy to be a more subtle color. Geez, now I look at that, I like that. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to second guess anything yet. I'm going to get the colors laid in, and then I can always experiment with it afterwards. Because I don't want to just make... But now that I look at it with the subtle color in the background, I have a hunch I might go that route. Because I like subtle color. Or I shouldn't say subtle, but I like... Desaturated colors work for me in certain contexts, and this might be one of them. Maybe I really don't need an intense color of any kind. Maybe everything can just be... Maybe the mushroom, if I go in here and I pull that saturation down a little bit, and I push that brightness up a bit, so that with the background colors being more subtle might actually be better. I don't know. Man, I got to tell you, and this is rare for me to say, I really like those lines. I almost look at this and I don't believe I did those lines because they just don't look like the stuff that I do. So, fascinating. Anyway, sorry, babbling here. Let's lay in the purple and then, oh man, my nose is starting to get out of control. I can tell. It's starting to really run where it is going to become a problem. Which I expected. Like I said a while ago, I expect this to get worse or more intense. Worse is kind of the wrong word for it because I don't like to say worse for something that, as far as I can tell, is going to be a few days illness and not anything compared to what some people go through. I don't really like to complain about being sick because compared to what some people go through, what, you know, true sickness. This is nothing. And it really isn't. But oops. Yeah. But it is going to become to a point where it's going to become distracting, and I'm already starting to have it, where it will be detrimental to the stream, I guess would be the way to put it. So, yeah. So I think I'll finish up with this purple, and that's probably where I'll bring the stream to a close for this evening, which isn't bad. 40-something minutes. Okay, I didn't even know if I was going to get that far. I really didn't. I really didn't know when I got going on this if I was going to... I actually went... I think I said this at the top, or it may have been very, very early, before anybody was even watching. I really went back and forth on whether I was going to stream at all, but I felt like it'd be fun to do a little bit of... Because I'm kind of liking this mushroom thing, even though it's silly and nonsensical and nothing of any... weight. Sometimes, because I've just gotten done with 2 really long-term drawings, sometimes just something fun and not too intense. And I've got another one that I just got going on that I don't know. I don't know if it will ever see any public view. But I'm going to attempt, and that is the correct word, attempt to draw Spiral from the X-Men. The 6-armed sorceress samurai woman, I guess. I don't know what the descriptor would be. But I just blocked out the actual body today with the 6 arms. And I didn't, you know, as a small aside, it is really amazing to me the way that she's been drawn a lot over the years, because a lot of people just... A lot of artists just stack her shoulders all in the same spot. I mean, it's really weird. It's really weird. I mean, but I couldn't find any good images. I got to look a little more, but I couldn't find any really good images of her from any angle but the front. And it's just strange how a lot of artists ball her shoulders together in this clump. That, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a 6-armed floating samurai sorcerer. There's not a lot of realism involved to begin with there. But I cannot imagine that would not be the most painful thing in the world, is to have your shoulders like that. I was really stunned that so many artists did that. Because I just look at them like, that looks so painful. That looks horribly painful. But... you know, I guess there is probably from an illustration, you know, for people who are doing comics a lot, I can see, I think I can understand why. There is an advantage to not having to draw all those arms the way that they would almost, I mean, I don't know, the way that looks logical to me, the way that I did it, which is to basically have each of the arms, more like Goro style, if you remember Goro from the Mortal Kombat movie, or the game, I guess, where his arms are... They're you know, sequentially down the side of them. That's how I have it. Again, you know, that's just how I'm doing it. That's not necessarily meant to be a criticism of other artists, but maybe it's a thing where each artist looked at who came before, and I think... I don't know if Art Adams created Spiral or not. I have a hunch he did. I'm guessing that Art Adams was, if not the first person to draw her, was one of them. Strangely, though, when I searched... You know what? Let me look at something. When I searched for, he did not come up in a lot of the image searches. Spiral... Oh, Spiral. X-Men. Sorry, I know this is terrible on a stream to do. Spiral, X-Men, Art Adams. I want to see how he drew her. Because I just have a hunch. Jeez, he doesn't even come up? Oh, okay. There's one of the images that he did of her. Yeah, he did it that way too, where he's got her shoulders stacked front to back. That's so odd to me. That's so... I mean, I'm really thrown by that. I have to admit, it's really throwing me off, because, I mean, looking at her, all right, I'm not going to get into this now, but that is really odd to me. Really odd. But like I said, I get it from a... Because comic book artists have to work, unless, certain types, like Art Adams is actually a good example of somebody who does not work fast, and he's admitted that himself. He's not a fast artist. He's very slow and deliberate because he does a lot of really detailed, small line work, like Jeff Darrow, these types of people who do these really small and intense types of line work. Most comic book artists who are just working artists, you gotta knock out a certain amount of pages per day, and you have to do it. So maybe there is an advantage in... I mean, there kind of is. I can just think about it in my head. If you don't have to separate each of those arms, you can do it faster. So it's probably a byproduct of working faster. That's a hunch. But it's weird because I just didn't when I was looking up photos of her, I just assumed that people would draw her with the kind of Goro sequential arms. And at least many of the ones, I'm not necessarily saying every one, I think I found one or two who did the sequential arm thing. I'm just calling it sequential arms, meaning that the arms, again, Goro style, are kind of just one after another, down vertically on the body. But most people did the clumped shoulders thing, the big bunches of... And the thing about that is, and I did see one image, and I don't know who drew it, but you could almost never draw her from the side because that part of her body would look like a very tumorous mass expanding backwards. It's so odd to me. Again, I don't want to come off like I'm saying, oh, these dumb artists don't know how to draw something. I'm certainly not saying that. I just really assume that most people would do it in what to me seems the logical way. But then again, most of those people that I saw images of are working artists who are drawing comics, and I'm not, so who am I to criticize? Easy for me to say that when I don't have to crank out 9 pages a day. And that would be on just one comic, so who knows? So like I said, easy for me to sit here and say, oh, I don't know why they would do that. Because I'm not the one doing it. Okay, we're going to stop here. Oh, look at that. I always like when I can kind of line it up with the other things. You can tell I've got a thing for circles. It's obvious, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. Hey, got it. That's not bad. That's not bad. Lined up. So, that's hysterical. So, yeah, I think we'll bring the stream to a close here. Not bad. Almost 50 minutes, so that's okay. Because I'm going to go and blow my nose for what will probably be another 50 minutes. Not 15. But I like where this is going. I like where this is headed. For what was originally kind of a throwaway drawing, nothing drawing, it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. Hopefully I don't destroy it on the way, but yeah, I'm digging it. I'm all right with it. Might need some tweaking here or there, but overall, I'm liking the overall trajectory of where this thing is going. So I'm going to try to keep it heading in that good direction. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to move my screen. There we go. Change to here. And yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Turtle, for following. I do appreciate it because I don't do really any promotion for this channel or anything like that, so I was kind of surprised. I mean, I do here and there, but nice to have somebody to follow. Hopefully these streams are at least somewhat fun to watch. I mean, I imagine it's not horrific or people wouldn't ever come back, and people do. And yeah. Like I said, thanks for coming by. Sorry about my voice. I feel like I'm slightly lower energy than usual because I am a little bit under the weather, but again, I don't want to complain too much. And yeah, so wherever you are and whatever is left of your day, hopefully if it's almost over, you got to do something creative. If not, you still have time. Go out there, do something. Well, you don't have to go anywhere. Create something. Even if it's a little doodle on the back of a book or something, just jotting down a little picture of a bunny in the margins of something, piece of paper, whatever. Try to be creative in some way, because I think it's good for everybody to create a little bit. Doesn't even have to be anything good. I saw something today by an artist who had stuff in a gallery, and I went, okay, I don't really get it, but that person created something, got it in the gallery, good for them. So go create something, enjoy what is left of whatever day, morning, evening, night it is. Thanks for stopping by and watching the stream, and take care.